Good Friday afternoon. Thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Lauren Lemanchek. Taking a look now from Capitol Hill today, where Congress has headed home for the long weekend. That's after pushing back against President Trump's proposed $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund. Some Republican senators say they were blindsided by the DOJ's announcement and that discussions about it even derailed their plans to pass President Trump's sweeping immigration enforcement bill. Trump is demanding that immigration bill be on his desk by June 1st. However, lawmakers are now likely to miss that deadline. Breaking this afternoon, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard is resigning. That's according to Gabbard herself, who says she's resigning to take care of her husband, who was recently diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. Her resignation is effective June 30th, she wrote. Right now, federal leaders are warning they're coming to prosecute fraud and take back stolen tax dollars. In the latest round of indictments, the feds say the 15 individuals charged attempted to defraud 7 different programs to the tune of $90 million. They say that sum includes the largest autism fraud bust in American history. Going forward, the feds are expanding the Department of Justice's healthcare fraud unit strike force. That unit already exists in Chicago and Detroit, as well as other cities. Now Minnesota is getting added to the list, with the agency hiring 15 additional prosecutors to combat fraud nationwide. Very soon, Minnesota will have a new law requiring anyone convicted of fraud to pay all of the stolen money back in the form of a tax. Danny Spiewak's here now to explain.
In the final hours of session this weekend, the legislature approved a 120-page taxes bill that included one very notable provision around fraud.
It came in late, but it was bipartisan.
GOP representative and former state auditor Patty Anderson led the charge on the new 100% tax on fraud, which will require anyone convicted in 2026 or beyond to pay all the stolen money back to the state.
If you steal from the citizens in Minnesota and you're convicted of that, we're going to go after you for that exact amount.
The money will then be deposited into a state tax relief account, which the Department of Revenue will use to lower income taxes on Minnesotans. The fraud tax will be on top of any restitution that a defendant owes to the court, which Representative Anderson says is typically lower than what they actually stole.
This allows the Department of Revenue to go right in, right away, and say, we're taking your assets.
The bill in the House ended up with 70 co-sponsors from both parties, ultimately receiving the support of DFL House Leader Zach Stevenson, who called the fraud tax one piece of the puzzle.
People need to go to jail. We're seeing that today, and that is good. But also, we need to ensure that the dollars are recovered, and that bill, I think, is one way we can do that.
The fraud tax is one of several anti-fraud measures passed by the legislature this year, along with the statewide Office of Inspector General and bolstered staffing for the Medicaid Fraud Control Unit.
We have to keep pushing, though. We are not done until there is no fraud in state government.
KARE 11 has been exposing fraud for years. Read our latest report and get a comprehensive look at all of your recent fraud coverage right now on kare11.com/fraud. Right now, police are looking for a suspect in a deadly shooting in North Minneapolis. This happened near the intersection of 18th and Girard Avenues North last night. Police say they responded to the shooting around 5:30 and found a 16-year-old boy shot. He died at the scene. Police say another man drove to a gas station after he was shot and was taken to the hospital. Police say they're trying to figure out what led up to the shooting and if the two victims are connected. Right now, 23-year-old Ryan Freeman is facing charges in connection to a deadly hit and run in Brooklyn Park. It happened early Tuesday morning on Highway 252 near 73rd Avenue. New charges say State Patrol linked debris on the scene to Freeman's SUV. Witnesses say the victim, 25-year-old Amaya Armstrong Walker, got out of a car during an argument and was hit and killed. Troopers say Freeman told them the damage to his car has been there for a while. Freeman is in the hospital and is expected to be arrested when he's discharged. Right now, Minneapolis police are looking for a suspect in a stabbing at the Fine Line. Take a look at this picture. They're looking for this man they say is in his 20s, about 6 feet tall, with a buzz cut and light mustache. Police say the victim is fighting for his life. They believe he was stabbed during a fight Sunday night at the venue. Anyone with information is asked to call MPD. Tonight, an ICE agent accused of pointing a gun at people in a car during Operation Metro Surge is in court for the first time. Gregory Morgan Jr. turned himself in yesterday. The criminal complaint says Morgan was driving illegally on the shoulder of Highway 62, passing cars. Two people in one car told police they partially pulled in front of Morgan to, quote, cut him off, not knowing he was with ICE. That's when they say Morgan pulled up next to their car and pointed a gun at them. Morgan's attorney said he was responding to a stressful situation he did not initiate.
Mr. Morgan did not know what that other driver and that other vehicle occupant's intention was when it swerved so aggressively at him, but it happened fast, it was alarming, and it was during an extraordinarily tense period in our Twin Cities metro area, both for citizens and law enforcement alike.
Morgan is charged with assault. British police are investigating former Prince Andrew for possible sex crimes. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor was arrested in February on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Thames Valley police are now looking into one allegation that a woman was trafficked into Britain by Jeffrey Epstein in 2010 to have sex with the former prince at his home in Windsor. NBC's Molly Hunter reports from London.
British police are out with a new statement, and they say they are hoping to speak with a woman whose lawyer has reportedly said she was brought to the house of former Prince Andrew out at Windsor back in 2010 for, quote, sexual purposes. In this same statement, they are also encouraging anyone with any information about Andrew's alleged misconduct to come forward. Now, he was arrested back in February. It stemmed from the released documents by the U.S. Department of Justice, and the former prince's house up in Norfolk on his brother King Charles's Sandringham estate was raided pre-dawn on his 66th birthday. Now, the allegations of misconduct stem specifically from his time in public office as a UK trade envoy. He's not been charged with a crime. He has denied all wrongdoing, but police say he's still under investigation. Now, the crime of misconduct in public office under UK law is wide-ranging, very complex. Legal experts say this investigation could be months and months in the making, but it's unclear exactly why the police are releasing this new statement today. There is a sense that police may be concerned that the public thought this case was more narrow in scope and really just dealt with the allegations around passing confidential information. What this statement, though, makes very, very clear is that it is wide-ranging and it will be a rigorous investigation. Molly Hunter, NBC News, Buckingham Palace.
Memorial Day weekend is here, and this year a record 45 million people are expected to travel for the holiday. Nearly 40 million of them will hit the road despite high gas prices. The national average right now sits at $4.55 a gallon. Here in Minnesota, it's costing drivers $4.36 on average. Lower in Iowa at $4.24. But if you're heading to Wisconsin, be prepared for slightly higher prices. The state average there this morning is $4.43 per gallon. The best time to hit the road is before 11 a.m. today. Right now, state troopers are reminding drivers to make smart decisions. Memorial weekend through Labor Day are the 100 deadliest days on the road. This time last year, Minnesota saw 111 deaths on our roads. That's actually down by more than 100 from 2024. But troopers say the number's still concerning. They say driving just 10 miles over the speed limit can raise the chances of a deadly crash.
Speed limits aren't suggestions, and physics don't negotiate. The faster a vehicle travels, the bigger the impact and the deadlier the outcome.
State Patrol, along with 300 local law enforcement agencies, are planning to ramp up their enforcement over the summer. Over the past month, West Metro drivers have been dealing with another major construction project along Highway 12 between Wayzata and Minnetonka. But this project comes with a pretty fascinating tool designed to keep traffic moving during rush hour. Heidi Wigdahl shows us how it works.
Crews are digging into construction on Highway 12 between Wayzata and Minnetonka.
The road was in some serious need of repair. We haven't been out here since like 2008. We're doing a total rebuild and resurfacing of Highway 12 to make it smoother and safer travel for motorists.
MnDOT spokesperson Nathan Bowie says as construction moves forward on the project, they also want to keep cars moving on the road. This is a movable barrier system between Shoreline Drive and Central Avenue in Wayzata, about 2 miles long. Each barrier weighing about 1,400 pounds is moved over 12 feet.
This is kind of a beast of a vehicle.
The sticks are all connected, so the barrier moves as one big zipper.
The movable barrier system and the barrier transfer machine, it's been about 30 or 40 years. It's been used on every continent across the globe, primarily in Europe and North America.
MnDOT has used this system on 6 previous projects, the last one in 2019.
Highway 12 work did make sense because it's a very heavy directional use road. Lots of eastbound traffic in the morning, lots of westbound traffic in the afternoon, and not being a lot of detours, it made sense to put this system in place here to provide more lanes for that rush hour peak traffic.
During morning rush hour, there are 2 lanes for eastbound traffic toward downtown Minneapolis and 1 lane for westbound traffic. Then around noon every day, crews shift the lane barrier to provide 2 lanes for westbound traffic from downtown and 1 lane eastbound.
It's like a engineering magic trick in feet that's very impressive to see.
To change everything over takes about a half hour.
It's incredible how fast it happens.
I was very impressed by its speed. I was told it goes about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but it was booking. More impressive is how it keeps traffic moving, and also importantly how it keeps motorists and the crew safe out here as well.
So while drivers can expect some delays through November, MnDOT says this is one tool to help keep it moving.
Be patient, plan ahead. Come November, you're gonna have a nice, smoother road with better pavement and a better travel experience.
Very cool. On the weekends, there will be 2 lanes for westbound traffic and 1 eastbound lane. For Memorial Day weekend, it'll be like this 1 day longer and then change back over for Tuesday morning rush hour. This system will continue through November when the project is expected to wrap up. Stick with us. More news and weather's coming up after the break.